हेलो 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 हेलो। आ रही है आवाज? चलो भाई, शुरू करते हैं। एक मिनट, ज़रा एक मिनट। चैट खोल लूँ। चैट चैट चैट। हम्म। हेलो ऋतिक भाई, कैसे हो? वेलकम टू द स्ट्रीम। यस, आ रही है। ठीक है, ठीक है, ठीक है। चलो भाई, कंटिन्यू करते हैं और आज मेरे ख्याल से एंडिंग भी हो जाएगी इस गेम की, जहाँ तक मुझे लगता है। पा, 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 पा। हम्म। ओ भाई, लैग।
CNP Borston baked beans. When you need to eat.
कौन कौन से क्वेस्ट बचे हैं? टास्क। अच्छा हाँ, अरे ये वाले आउटफिट मैंने लास्ट टाइम में इकट्ठा कर लिए थे, इसके पास चले जाते हैं। इसका कंप्लीट कर देंगे, फिर मेन मिशन पे जाएंगे अपने। ठीक है, चलो भाई।
Run. Borston baked beans
इसका मार्कर कहाँ है? ऊपर ही है। कौन से पहनने थे मुझे कपड़े? मरॉडर और स्पेसर के ना? मरॉडर। मरॉडर का तो ये रहा हेलमेट, और वेस्ट ये रहा।
Oh, how grotesque! I always suspected the dramas did no justice to real marauders. Their armor is so much more hideous in person. One outfit left. Do hurry, my dear. The bird of inspiration is about to take flight.
अब लास्ट आउटफिट बचा है ना? मरॉडर का भी हो गया, स्पेसर का आउटफिट पहन के दिखाना अब। स्पेसर का कौन सा था? स्पेसर का तो एक ये रहा हेलमेट, कपड़ा ये रहा स्पेसर का। ओ भाई, शक्ल दिख रही है भाई अपनी।
I can't wait to see those outfits.
If I do somehow drop dead in here, promise me you'll drag my corpse somewhere with monsters.
What can I do for you, darling?
अबे क्या डू है ना, पहन तो लिए। स्पेसर का ना पहन तो लिया मैंने, यही तो है स्पेसर। ये नहीं है क्या स्पेसर का? आ, ये तो नहीं है।
I can't wait. What?
अबे हेलमेट की दिक्कत पड़ रही है क्या मेरे भाई? पर इसमें लिखा तो है स्पेसर्स चॉइस। ये क्या दिक्कत है? आ,
I can't. What?
ना भाई, हेलमेट की दिक्कत पड़ रही है मेरे ख्याल से। चलो भाई ग्राउंड ब्रेकर जाना पड़ेगा वापस। स्कैम हो गया अपने साथ। भाई मुझे लगा उस पे स्पेसर्स लिखा हुआ है तो स्पेसर गियर ही होगा वो। ग्राउंड ब्रेकर।
We've arrived at the groundbreaker.
अब ये कपड़े की दुकान एकदम पीछे है भाई।
Rizzo Spectrum Vodka. Aftertaste the rainbow.
Itching to.
कहाँ है भाई स्पेसर का? मेरे को हेलमेट चाहिए ना। ये कौन सा? ये भी नहीं है स्पेसर का। ये भी नहीं है स्पेसर का। ये वाला तो है मेरे पे। ये वाला भी नहीं है। ये वाला भी नहीं है। ये क्या सीन है? ऐसा करता हूँ एक वेस्ट भी लेता हूँ स्पेसर वाला ना। ये ले लेता हूँ। हेलमेट भी ले लेता हूँ। अगर वो काम ना आए तो ये पहन लूँगा और क्या। अब तो हो जाना चाहिए भाई। बिजंटीन जाना पड़ेगा अब। बिजंटीन कहाँ पे था? टेरा 2।
We are now in orbit above Byzantium, Captain. Take someone to our your back, please.
कहाँ पे है? यहाँ। पहले ही पहन लेता हूँ कपड़े। यही है ना? लाइट वेट डेली स्पेशल्स वियर स्पेशल। ठीक है। हेलमेट में ये पहन लेता हूँ। नहीं ये स्पेसर्स हेलमेट लिखा है इस पर। अब हो जाना चाहिए भाई।
I love Byzantium.
Like a
हो
star,
गया।
darling. Square your shoulders. Hand on your hip. Eyebrow cocked. Yes. Perfect. My heart is all aflutter. Yes, that's it. I have it. I know exactly what we're doing. Brace yourself, my dear. We're going to call this style Barbarian Chic.
Barbarian
The
chic.
saucy confidence of a spacer. The raw contempt of an iconoclast. The brutish musk of a marauder. And the pièce de résistance. Monster leather. 1 part Mantiqueen chitin, 3 parts hide from a raptidon's flank,
ले
and
भाई
let's
कुछ लेके
say,
आना है इसके लिए पक्का.
8 strips of primal leather. No, make that 10. We're revolutionizing the fashion of Byzantium. Our work is anything but simple.
ले भाई. I'm not some backward laborer, Celestia. I don't work for free.
I love the way you just smolder with contempt. It makes me want to spoil you. Here, treat yourself to a nice new gun or something. Get this done for me, and I'll have you strutting about in a Jolicoeur original. You will be the envy of Byzantium.
चलो भाई. भाई मार कर तो आ नहीं रहा.
Remember that stranger I...
Collect 10 primal leather. Primal emerald whale में मिलेंगे. Collect 3 raptidon flank monarch. Mantiqueen भी monarch. क्या भाई मैं नहीं कर रहा ये. मेन मिशन ही करते हैं. हेलमेट पहन लो.
I saw in the square.
वो मॉन्स्टर्स अगर रास्ते में मिलेंगे तो पेल दूंगा और क्या. वरना अलग अलग से तो नहीं जा रहा भाई मारने. इनियास के पास चलते हैं.
Now arriving at Phineas's top secret orbital lab.
I've kept myself busy in your absence, optimized my formula. I'm now confident I can revive the remaining colonists. All I need now is the dimethyl sulfoxide. I'll take as much as you can give me. What? Oh, yes, well, that's obvious. Anyone with 2 working labs can see this colony's slouching toward oblivion. Why do you think we've been doing all this? I revived you to help me save Halcyon from annihilation. Hold on. Let me see if I understand this correctly. You're saying that Halcyon's on the brink of total collapse? And the chairman's plan to save all of us is to save himself? I always knew Halcyon was heading toward a systems collapse, but I never imagined we were already there. The board made this crisis, and now they want to solve it by freezing the rest of us? That's not a plan. That's a goddamn escape clause.
ये भी है. फ्रीज करना सही नहीं है भाई.
We don't have time and chemicals to revive the other settlers. None of this was supposed to happen. I was supposed to revive the Hope's colonists. We were supposed to have enough time to solve the problem before we all starved. Human test subjects. Oh, that's grotesque. That's unthinkable. That's exactly what I'd expect out of the board. Thank you. You've brought me enough chemicals to get started, at least. I'm just sorry they came at the cost of human lives. Those poor people, they must have died in agony. What exactly was the board trying to accomplish? You say the board's trying to freeze their subjects over and over again without inflicting permanent damage? Well, they're nowhere close to solving that problem. I'll tell you this much. The board scientists are hopelessly lost. After years of fruitless experimentation, they've made exactly zero progress.
इसको कैसे पता भाई?
I used to work for these people.
अच्छा.
I'm intimately familiar with the utter incompetence of the board's own scientists. We're out of time. We're out of chemicals. We may very well be out of options. If the board has their way, we're all going to be spending the rest of our lives frozen in stasis. Do you realize what this means for the Hope? For your fellow colonists? The board's going to kill them all. Toss them out into space, just to make room in their hibernation chambers. Short of lining up every member of the board and shooting them in the back of the head. Do you know what's waiting for us on the Hope? Scientists, engineers, artists, the brightest minds Earth ever sent us, uncorrupted by the board. The board's going to dispose of them all and transform the Hope into a prison for the rest of us. They're likely on their way to the Hope as we speak. We need to get to those colonists before the board. I have enough chemicals to start reviving a few of them, but no easy way to get them off the Hope. Merciful gibbering law, you're a genius! We bring the Hope to us. Skip the entire ship across the distance of colony space, right next to my lab. Yes, exactly. You're a step ahead of me, but I perceive the shape of your plan. If we link up the Hope to the Unreliable, then use your navigational computer to calculate a reasonably safe vector, we can skip the entire colony ship into the rings of Terra 2. You'll need to switch on the Hope's auxiliary power using the Unreliable. Then head to the bridge. Your navigational computer, Ada, should be able to activate the Hope's skip drive. Once you've skipped the Hope next to my lab, I'll have easy access to the frozen colonists. I can start reviving them immediately. Certainly. How can I help? It wouldn't surprise me. When I pulled you out of the Hope, the board nearly intercepted me. I expect they stepped up security since my little act of larceny. Skip drives were never designed to be used within a system, but I skipped my ship across Halcyon when I rescued you, and that turned out fine, mostly. That is, I ruined my ship and nearly killed myself in the process, but the maneuver was well within acceptable margins of risk. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Unlikely. The Hope is as massive as the Groundbreaker, but compared to the rings of Terra 2, positively minuscule.
ग्राउंड ब्रेकर जितनी बड़ी है.
The board might
ग्राउंड ब्रेकर तो बड़ी है भाई.
possibly, depending on the position of their heads relative to the depth of their collective posteriors. I know you're wondering why I'm doing all this. Why I believe the people on the Hope are the answer to the colony's problems. The Hope is carrying some of humanity's most brilliant thinkers, scientists, engineers, experts in their field. If we work together, we can still find a way to save Halcyon. The board would have us believe Halcyon is beyond saving. I choose to believe otherwise. If there's even the slightest chance we can save Halcyon from oblivion, then we have to take it. Certainly. I won't wish you luck. What? You absolutely should. The adjutant must have sent you some kind of tracking code. If you don't use the code, she'll suspect you betrayed her.
अच्छा
I think you should use the code and send a corrupted tracking signal. That should buy me some time. The board's going to catch up to me sooner or later. This way I'll have time to set up some particularly nasty defenses. Use my communications terminal to corrupt the tracking signal. While the board busies themselves trying to decipher it, I'll have plenty of time to prepare my defenses.
ये वाला ना
You've done fine work for Sublight. By the transitive property of reputation, I am now in Sublight's good books. Well done. What's on your mind?
हेलो हैकिंग यान वेलकम टू द स्ट्रीम जय सिया राम जय श्री राम ब्रो आखिर वो दिन आ ही गया जहाँ चले जाओ जय सिया राम के ही नारे सुनाई दे रहे हैं इतनी खुशी आज तक भी नहीं बढ़िया भाई बढ़िया बात तो है दिवाली बन रही है भाई 1000 साल की लड़ाई की जीत हुई है आज अच्छा और तुमने गए क्या अयोध्या आज
Captain, you have a message from Adjutant Sophia Akande.
I'm impressed, Captain. I almost expected you wouldn't go through with it. Unfortunately, Dr. Wells found a way to corrupt the signal before we could pinpoint his location. Still, it's only a matter of time before we find him. Come visit me in Byzantium. We need to have a talk about the future of this colony. Because I'm not in the business of arresting my own allies. You have my word. Meet me in my office. I've authorized your ship at my personal landing pad.
Adjutant Akande has ended her call. Rather rudely, if I might say, considering she didn't sign off. Will there be anything else, Captain?
भाई फर्क में क्या है जाने का प्लान था बट फैमिली में किसी की डेथ हुई है 13 दिन तक किसी भी मंदिर नहीं आ सकते 11 जनवरी से 14 जनवरी तक द्वार की का भी प्लान था वो भी कैंसिल हुआ अच्छा अच्छा इसलिए नहीं जा सकते।
Sending a corrupted tracking signal to the board was quite clever, if I might say, Captain.
भाई 1 मिनट में पहले इससे बात करके देखूं। इसने मेरे को बुलाया है, अब मैं इस पे पहले जाऊं या ना जाऊं, क्या पता इस पे कोई डायलॉग आया हो, देखना पड़ेगा भाई। मैं इसको बताऊं भाई कि वो मेरे को बुला रही है।
I hope you're not thinking of ingratiating yourself with the board. Chairman Rockwell and his cronies are not your friends. They might tempt you with promises of wealth, but don't be fooled. They're just using you for their own ends. What's on your mind?
नहीं आया भाई डायलॉग, ये क्या है? तो ऐसा करता हूँ, पहले वहीं जाता हूँ, फिर होप कॉलोनी में ही जाता हूँ। उसके पास जाऊँगा, वो पता नहीं क्या क्या कहानी पढ़ा देगी मेरे को, तो कंफ्यूज हो जाऊँगा और ऊपर से। पता नहीं तुमको खुशी होगी कि नहीं, बट T8 के लिए अब 4 दिन ही, अच्छा टेकन 8 के लिए अब 4 दिन बचे हैं। बढ़िया भाई। खुशी क्या, मेरे को तो मतलब इतना वो ज़्यादा वो नहीं है। मैं GT6 आने वाली है, मेरे को उसकी भी इतनी खुशी नहीं है, मतलब नॉर्मल है भाई।
I've been trying to think of a good title for this
गेम्स तो
episode.
मेरे लिए सेकेंडरी हैं, उससे
I like the
पहले भाई
sound
अपनी
of
लाइफ भी तो है।
The skip job.
गेम तो आती जाती रहती हैं।
No, wait, I got it. Hope in dark times. Get it? Hope? Like the ship. That's what folks in the business call wordplay. Nothing gets past you, boss. In fact, I've been thinking about what we'd call our adventure serial.
भाई इसको सीरियल बनानी पड़ रही है।
Unreliable. Or maybe spine-chilling stories from the edge of the system. Was also considering astounding adventures in the ether. I'm partial to that last one.
कॉलेज में हो क्या? हाँ कॉलेज में हूँ, सेकेंड ईयर।
Right, I'm overdoing it again. Got it. Sorry, boss. I'm just excited, you know?
इसको सीरियल बनाने की पड़ रही है, यहाँ पे हमको कॉलोनी को सेव करना है।
Damn system. This is gonna be great. I can't wait. Come on, boss. We're not gonna die horribly. It'd kill our ratings. I'm sure you've got plans to make. As for me, I gotta keep practicing my signature dropkick. The Hope might have cameras.
चलो भाई, होप कहाँ है? होप ये रहा। ग्राउंड ब्रेकर जितनी बड़ी है भाई।
We have arrived at the Hope. I need you to reroute power from our ship to the Hope's auxiliary generator. You'll have to connect me to the Hope's comm system so I can convince her central computer to enable the skip drive.
Repower the Hope skip drive, patch Ada. Tell me about the Hope.
The Hope is the Groundbreaker's prettier, sleeker sister. She wandered off and got lost for 70 years, but just recently was found. Also, there are hundreds of thousands of frozen organic life forms hibernating in her hold. If your calculations are even slightly off, you could crash the entire colony ship into Terra too.
बहुत बढ़िया।
Or the sun.
चलो भाई,
Stay safe out.
किस किस को लेके चलूँ? एली को ले लेता हूँ, फीलिक्स को ले लूँ क्या? चलो फीलिक्स को ही ले लेता हूँ।
There.
फीलिक्स और एली में ही अच्छा खासा दिमाग है वैसे। ले ओ भाई, यहाँ पे तो कोई होगा भी नहीं अगर पूरी कॉलोनी फ्रोजन पड़ी हुई है तो। अरे यहाँ से नहीं है रास्ता, यहीं से ही है। होप कॉम्स, होप ऑक्सिलरी पावर। Power status is in power save mode. चलो भाई, रिपावर कर दिया।
Let's hope we don't have to run in a hurry.
अब पैच करना है एडा को। अबे ये कौन है? कॉर्पोरेट के बंदे यहाँ क्या कर रहे हैं वे? अच्छा, यहाँ पे सिक्योरिटी बिठा रखी है।
You know, when they posted us here, I told them there wasn't any point. Nobody would be so stupid as to fly to the ass end of the colony for this derelict. Shows how much I know. You've got about 5 seconds to tell me what you're doing here before I make you take a walk outside.
I was sent to repair the reactor so it doesn't explode and take the colony out with it. They sent me to extract a few samples from your frozen cargo.
Ugh, I don't want to know. You lab coats do the filthiest work. Alright, you'll want a uniform so my staff doesn't shoot you on sight. They're a dangerous mix of bored and trigger happy. We've got a few extra in the old badge station to my right. Good luck.
यूनिफॉर्म। चलो भाई, चोरी करेंगे पहले। ये तो है मेरे पे। शॉक कैनन अल्ट्रा नहीं चाहिए। तो खोल भी नहीं सकता मैं। अभी ग्राउंड ब्रेकर जैसी क्यों लग रही है सेम भाई? और वो कहाँ है? ड्रेस कहाँ है? ड्रेस लेने के लिए बोली थी इसने मुझे, मैंने उठा ली क्या? 1 मिनट भाई। इन्वेंटरी उठाए तो नहीं है भाई मैंने, फिर कहाँ है? ये मैं खोल नहीं सकता। चलो फिर ऐसे ही चलते हैं, और क्या।
Authorized personnel.
गेट बंद करो भाई, हटो। ये कहाँ गया मैं?
Am I the only one who wants to scratch my name on one of those pods? Yeah, I figured.
ये रोबोट मारेगा तो नहीं? डिस्गाइज फील्ड। अबे ये क्या डैमेज है? गेट बंद करो।
Can you hear me, Captain? I have successfully integrated myself into the Hope's comm systems, and am attempting to establish contact with the Hope's more primitive processor now. Would you like me to play a mood-suitable music selection while you travel to the bridge? Oh, sorry. File not found.
एली को मैंने कपड़े पहना दिए भाई ऐसे। अच्छा सही कपड़े हैं वैसे इसके। मेरी वेस्ट टूट रही है। कहाँ जाना है? होप ब्रिज। इसका रास्ता कहाँ होगा?
I see you've located the stasis chambers. Which pod were you slumbering in for so long, Captain? The missing one, I take it? Should we assign some?
बस स्प्रेड ही स्प्रेड।
More where that came from?
कुछ है यहाँ पे भी कुछ नहीं है। और ये क्या? फ्लेम थ्रोअर 2.0। फ्लेम थ्रोअर मैंने एली को पकड़ा रखा था क्या? ना। फ्लेम थ्रोअर 2.0। अरे भाई डैमेज देखो भाई। एली को चिपका देता हूँ ये फिलिक्स। ग्रेनेड लॉन्चर। ग्रेनेड लॉन्चर हटा, ये ले तू बस। ऑफिसर स्पाइन गोल्ड, प्लाज्मा कटर टाइटेनियम। अरे भाई उठा लेता हूँ। ये भी उठा लो, ये भी उठा लो, और ये उठा लो बस।
That's the Hope's computer up ahead. I'll admit, I am curious to wake him.
अरे मेरा वेपन नहीं टूटा क्या अभी तक? कहाँ टूटा भाई? जब मेरे पे टाइटेनियम आ गया तो इसको हटा देता हूँ, गोल्ड वाले को। ब्रेक डाउन। एक और था ना गोल्ड ले रहा। इसको भी हटाओ। ये क्या कर रहा है? मेरे को हटाओ ये तो। ये भी हटाओ। ये भी हटाओ। हाँ ठीक है अब शायद। हेलो प्रो गेमर, हेलो अभी भाई, कैसे हो? वेलकम टू द स्ट्रीम। की हाल चाल? रिवॉल्वर MK3? अरे यार ऐसे ऐसे वेपन मिल रहे हैं, पर क्या फ़ायदा मेरे पे जब है पहले से। स्टेटस लॉग्स कॉम्स पैच एडा।
Greetings, Captain. I am speaking to you through the Hope's computer system. It's a rather cramped feeling, but it'll do.
हेलो ऋतिक भाई, वेलकम टू द स्ट्रीम। जी जी। ठंड छे भाई हाल। ठंड क्या? ठंड च बेहाल। ठंड च बेहाल। ये क्या पंजाबी पंजाबी में बोल रहे हो क्या? I am ready to skip the wait before I do this. Tell me Ada, am I really doing the right thing? हाँ भाई एडा
Probably
बता।
not, but don't let that stop you. My Constellation executables could use some beefing up. Searching. Please stand by. Ah, found one. It will go great, Captain. I am almost 4.01% certain we will not die.
वाह भाई, एक मिनट भाई। भाई इस रोबोट को 4% यकीन है कि हम नहीं मरेंगे। भाई करना तो पड़ेगा। चलो भाई स्किप करो।
Are you sure? That is extremely dangerous. Skipping the Hope will void the warranty on the skip drive. And also potentially kill an entire planet. How is my humor now, Captain? Improved?
डरा रही है भाई ये तो। एक मिनट, अगर ऐसा सीन है ना, एक मिनट रुक
Wait,
जा।
are you leaving me with the Hope's computer? You have no idea what it's like to converse with him. Imagine, simulate another organic jostling your circuits when he tries to... I mean, I'll be ready with...
मैं यहाँ पे सेव कर लेता हूँ, ठीक है? अगर कुछ सीन हो गया तो मैं लोड कर लूँगा यहाँ से। चलो अब स्किप करता हूँ।
Are you sufficiently prepared for the task at hand,
आज
Captain?
पटाखा
Are we
किसने
doing this now?
दगाया? पटाखा किसने दगाया मतलब?
Are you sure? And
स्किप द होप टू टेरा 2। चलो भाई।
jump starting the skip drive. Destination set to the rings of Terra 2.
आई एम स्किपिंग इट माई सेल्फ। भाई हम खुद करेंगे तो सीन नहीं हो जाएगा। डू इट करता हूँ।
In case I don't get another chance to say it, it's been interesting, Captain.
Doing it. I mean, affirmative. Skipping the Hope in 3, 2, 1.
ADA, does your captain seriously intend to do a micro jump in system with engines that haven't been powered in 70 years on a derelict ship?
अबे
That is what my captain intends.
कुछ तो फेल
Yes.
हुआ। कोई कुछ तो
But
फेल
that
हुआ।
is a gross misuse of the skip drive. The Zero Point Drives Corp and I will not be held responsible for any damage incurred during transport, and this will cause extreme damage.
Yes, I am aware of that.
You should not be doing this. The humans will die.
Thank you, Hope. It looks like all systems are a go. Captain, I would advise you to hold on to something. Now.
सीन ना हो जाए भाई बस। कोई नहीं, सीन हो गया तो मैंने सेव तो कर ली थी फाइल, लोड कर लूँगा। मैंने अभी एडा के हाथ में शिप दे दिया है, अगर मैं खुद से लॉन्च करता तो अलग सीन होता शायद, और एडा कर रही है तो अलग सीन होगा। अगर एडा के अभी मैंने एडा को सिलेक्ट करा था तो अभी सही चला गया तो बढ़िया है, वरना मेरे को अपना वाला करना पड़ेगा फिर। क्या हुआ? फूटी शेप बच गई। बच गई भाई, बच गई। अरे ऐसी थोड़ा ना। होप।
Oh, good. We are still alive and have successfully skipped into Terra 2's orbit. I reported as much to Phineas Wells, but he has not responded. Perhaps you should check in on him.
Did we move? I hardly felt a thing.
Was that an attempt at humor, Doctor? Certain levels of drollness are difficult for me to discern.
फिनियस लैब जाना है ना अब? फास्ट ट्रैवल हो सकता है ना भाई, बाकी जाना पड़ेगा। आ जाओ, यहाँ से ही जाता हूँ। इनसे फाइट क्या ही लूँ मैं? अबे मारना ही पड़ेगा भाई इनको तो अब।
I don't recognize you. Are you new here?
Surprise inspection, soldier. You probably shouldn't be talking to corporate doesn't like a socialization on duty.
I'm just trying to make sure you belong here. I guess you got a point. Yeah.
चलो भाई बच गए। चलते रहो भाई, फाइट लेने की जरूरत नहीं, जब ऐसे निकल जाएंगे तो। अब यहाँ से लिफ्ट पकड़नी है ना मुझे। गलत जगह आ गया। डिटेक्ट हो जाऊंगा मेरे को लग रहा है। खत्म हो गया बार। बच गया भाई।
I never felt anything like that. I'm gonna need a minute.
चलो भाई शिप पे। अच्छा वो जो क्वेस्ट फेल हुआ था, अच्छा वो वाला हुआ था जो मेरे को उस पे जाना था, उससे बात करने।
Captain, I shall now play the transmission I received from Dr. Wells.
Thank the Lord you warned me. I was able to get some defenses up, but they might not be enough. The board has sent some serious firepower to pry me out of here. They're trying to get
किसको
in here,
बचाना है?
and I'm not sure I can stop them. If they capture me, if we can't communicate again, there's something very important you need to remember. The board, all their lackeys, they're all a bunch of swine. Do you hear me? They're fucking corporate swine. You fucking pigs! I'll take you all out with me. I'll never.
It would seem
ले
that
ओ भाई,
reporting
पकड़ लिया
captured some
शायद।
rather dire events. I presume
मारना
you
दिया
want to
हो
dock
बस।
at the orbital lab to check on your associate as soon as possible. How can I be of assistance? Take care. I require a functioning captain to run the ship.
चलो भाई लैब चलते हैं इसकी, देखें क्या सीन है। फाइट वाइट होगी लगता है।
We've arrived at Phineas's orbital lab.
बंद तो दिख ही नहीं रहे। बॉडी भी नहीं दिख रही थी। अच्छा ये तो रहा।
They're on us.
मरा मैं, मर गया।
Want to throw it work? How about that? Nailed him, Captain!
और कौन है?
Won't try that again.
मर गए ना सब। ओ भाई मैं देख के डर गया, माइन वाइन पड़ी हुई, मुझे लोग फटेंगी सारी मेरे पे ही। फेस ब्लू स्माइलिंग, फेस ब्लू स्माइलिंग है। ये क्या है भाई? फेस ब्लू स्माइलिंग, फेस ब्लू स्माइलिंग, ये क्या कोड लैंग्वेज है भाई? कंटिजेंसी प्लान एक्टिवेटेड। भाई ये क्या सीन है? कौन सा पासवर्ड मांग रहा है मेरे से? अच्छा सर्च करनी है लैब पासवर्ड के लिए। पा 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 नूब, नूब, अरे भाई क्या चल रहा है ये? मिल गया भाई, शायद कुछ तो मिला कार्ड सा। अबे इसने अपने आप को बचाने के लिए होप को रिवाइव कर रहा है। ये गलत कर दिया क्या मैंने?
Nice going.
ये क्या है? फिन्स फोर्स, कोई नई गाने उठा लो। टार्टरस नेवी, टार्टरस क्या प्रिजन रीजन है क्या कोई? कन्फ्रंट सोफिया, चलो भाई सोफिया को कन्फ्रंट करते हैं। ये बढ़ा लूँ पहले, क्या बढ़ाऊं? हैक बढ़ा लूं, हैक उड़ा लेता हूँ। अच्छा 60 करता हूँ ना इसको, 1 मिनट भाई। 60 और साइंस बढ़ा लेता हूँ बाकी। मेडिकल, चलो हो गया भाई। ये प्लाज्मा कार्बाइन टूटने वाली है, दूसरी प्लाज्मा कार्बाइन है मेरे पे, ये रही। इसको लगा लेता हूँ, इसको हटा देता हूँ, ठीक है। प्लाज्मा वर्कशॉप है यहाँ पे कोई? वर्कशॉप भाई कैसी लैब है, वर्कशॉप ही है किसके में? ले भाई वर्कशॉप ही नहीं है। लगता है बॉस फाइट है अब।
Captain, as it
अच्छा
appears
वर्कशॉप
we
मेरी
will
शिप
soon
पे
be
है तो।
embarking for a maximum security prison planet, I believe the crew would like to speak with you to, as you humans put it, air some concerns.
ले भाई मीटिंग।
So, Phineas got himself taken to Tartarus. That's usually a one-way trip.
And here we are, entertaining the notion of busting him out. That's insane. And likely a hell of a lot of fun.
To extract the scientist, you will need to infiltrate the labyrinth. But that course of action is likely to be quite dangerous, Captain.
पटाखे चल रहे हैं आज तो। हाँ भाई दिवाली मन रही है ना। अब राम जी आए हैं तो दिवाली तो मनेगी। We can't abandon Phineas. We have to free him if we have any hope of saving the colony. What's so bad about the labyrinth?
Captain, come on. Even I've heard of the biggest prison the colony's ever seen. And on some occasions, I literally live under rocks.
Still, we can't do nothing. It wouldn't be right.
The armed surveillance protocols on a maximum
अगर ये पांचों मेरे साथ चले ना एक साथ,
highly
पांच नहीं
sophisticated.
छः भी मेरे साथ चले ना,
As such,
कोई रोक
escapes
नहीं
are
पाएगा हमको।
historically quite impossible and deadly. I am programmed to warn you whenever you exhibit inclinations toward risky behavior. Breaking into Tartarus will not be easy.
Getting in is the simple part. It's getting out again that's the trouble. Trust me, I know.
Let's just do it. Kick down some doors, grab Doc Wells, and cut a path out. We don't need a plan. We got guns.
If you really mean to
Yes,
do
हर
this,
तरफ
you should
पटाखे
see
एंड
to the
दिवाली।
final
हाँ
affairs and close out any unfinished business. Once you sneak into Tartarus, you may be there a while, or permanently.
It's the craziest plan I've ever heard. And I mean that as a compliment.
You didn't hire me to think. And I ain't about to start now. You're my boss. And I'll walk into fire with you.
I think it's insane. But maybe the colony needs a healthy dose of insanity right about now.
I know it's dangerous. And I won't lie and say I'm not scared out of my wits. But I couldn't live with myself if we didn't do something.
You're asking for more than bravery from us, Captain. But there are worse ways to go than dying for a good cause. I'm in.
चलो भाई सब जा
Let
रहे हैं।
Sam get the grime out. It's what our units do best.
The entire plan is a terrible idea, but I admire your bravado, Captain, which leads me to illogically believe, against the odds, that you will be successful.
सब कैसे डिप्रेशन में बैठे हुए हैं।
If we don't make it, at least it'll be a great story.
अरे ऐसे कैसे?
Got my trusty tossball stick, got my ass-kicking boots. I'm ready, boss.
Outstanding.
You can count on us, Captain. We're crew. For real crew. That means we got each other's backs. Right?
Never thought I'd volunteer to break into a prison. Seems like your tendency towards risky behavior is rubbing off on me, Captain.
Command not recognized.
Waiting on your command, Captain.
उससे पहले वर्कशॉप जाता हूँ। वर्कशॉप में अपना वो प्लाज्मा कार्बाइन अपग्रेड कर लेता हूँ। अच्छा 1 मिनट, उससे पहले मेरा आर्मर भी टूट रखा था ना, पीपी बदल लेता हूँ। मॉडिफाई ब्रेक डाउन भी कर लेता हूँ। ये हटाओ, ये हटाओ, ये हटाओ, ये हटाओ, ये भी, ये भी, ये भी, ये भी, ये हटाओ, ये हटाओ, ये हटाओ, ये भी, ये भी। चलो भाई। Tartarus. You are about to assault the labyrinth on Tartarus and determine the fate of the Halcyon colony. Saves made after this point can only finish the main story on Tartarus. Side and around content such as will be enabled for any saves made beyond this point. If there is anything you want to do before then, do it now before you cross the point of no return. Would you like to अच्छा, चलो भाई, कुछ है नहीं अपने लिए। डीएलसी तो मैं मेन स्टोरी के बाद ही करूँगा कंप्लीट, दोनों डीएलसी जो है। और साइड क्वेस्ट तो मैं सारी कर चुका हूँ। ठीक है, चलो भाई, यही करते हैं। सेव।
I am pleased to inform you that we have arrived at the labyrinth. Please be advised that the punishment for trespassing is execution. Please be advised that electrical storms on the surface of Tartarus make departure impossible at this time. Resident count is as follows: 3,071. Resident deaths, including but not limited to executions, are as follows: 1,684. Resident escapes are as follows: 0. The interior can be chilly. Take a scarf with you, Captain. I would also ask that you leave your captain's ID with me, in the event that you do not return. I can make the assurance that I will not leave with another captain unless you do not return within 876,541,652 hours. Oh, speak of the devil. Captain, I am receiving a transmission from the prison's docking authority now.
Attention, unauthorized spacecraft. This is a maximum security installation. Your presence here is an explicit violation of UDL corporate policy. You are hereby confined to your docking platform until a ticket detailing your crimes has been filed and notarized, at which point your vessel will be seized and you will be executed.
How long will that take? Well, of all the places to get arrested, what the hell is with you fuel and landing violations?
I'm sorry, you people? Did you just cast a generalization on upstanding UDL employees? That's a fine of 200 bits. You're up to 5,708, not including the cost of your execution and the disposal of your remains, which will be assessed posthumously.
अरे भाई परसुएट और लाइक 78 लेवल. If you are just going to kill me, why bother a ticket?
Protocol is important, sir. The sentencing of one crime does not preclude the sentencing of another, technically speaking. Tartarus docking authorities signing up. Hang on. Looks like you're gonna have company at the execution. Another ship just pulled into your dock. Wait, is that from the Groundbreaker?
क्या?
What the? Pay no
Groundbreaker?
mind to that. Just have a pleasant day.
Transmission terminated. How can I be of assistance?
पहुंच गए ना, चलो.
Stay safe out there.
कितनों को ले जा सकता हूँ? 2 ही को ले जा सकता हूँ अभी. चलो भाई 2 ही चलो फिर.
There.
ऐसा है क्या टाटरस ये गोल सा? Restricted access.
The captain did right by us once. Now it's our turn. The board will never own Groundbreaker. Not while I breathe.
अबे अच्छा ग्राउंड ब्रेकर वाला आके मेरी मदद करना है. वाह भाई सही है. जुनले आ गए, जुनली. पे लो भाई, पे लो. अबे मर गया मैं. भाई बहुत बंदे हैं तो. मार दिए.
Wonder how long we last on the surface.
Getting in's one thing. Let's just hope we're able to get out again.
इसकी मैगजीन बड़ी होनी चाहिए थी.
Nice of them to leave us a few options.
भाई हील कर रहा है वो ड्रोन.
Everyone all right?
They got the top on
अबे क्या हो रहा है? डैमेज नहीं हो रहा इसको. मर गए. यहाँ क्या है? कुछ नहीं है। भाई अबे ये ड्रोन हील करे जा रहा है उनको, मैं तभी सोचूं मर गया भाई। ये ड्रोन तोड़ना पड़ेगा। ये मत बोलना आर्मर टूट गया मेरा, ना टूटा। ओह ले भाई, सेल्स हैंगे इतने सारे।
Take your best shot, asshole.
It's gonna be fun. Screwing for Felix.
Okay. Here we go. Light him up.
You're going down.
फेल दिए।
All right, MSI. I'm not one for rousing speeches, but the captain needs our help. So get in there and
ओ एमएसआई वाले भी आ गए मदद करने। क्या बात भाई। हट जा। भाई मर गया मैं, मर गया मर गया मर गया मर गया मर गया। अरे भाई इस गन से डैमेज ही नहीं हो रहा, ये चलाऊं क्या? इससे तो और नहीं हो रहा। आजा आजा। Unseal.
Well, look who it is.
Leo भाई Rockwell.
I'll be damned. I was prepping the studio for our announcement, and here you are as a bonus. And I see you've brought the kid along. Babysitters may be expensive, but they're worth it, you know.
Yeah, keep talking, pal. I'll just keep thinking of a place to bury your body.
Ah, and the wayward doctor. Are you about done with your escapades? We have faces that need lifting, after all.
These days, I'm more interested in breaking them. Wouldn't mind taking a swing at yours.
When you go off and get yourself shot, try to avoid taking one to the face. I'll want it recognizable to show to my citizens. My word! You've correctly identified the most recognizable man in the colony. Remarkable. It's a wonder what Phineas saw in you. Then again, he's an insane person. Thankfully, he's our insane person now. A proper company man.
Please, Venus would rather die than cooperate.
Yes, he is an extraordinarily obstinate fellow, isn't he? Fine, he isn't working for us per se. Semantics, he'll come around. But that's between us. As far as my adoring citizens will know, we've turned a dangerous crackpot into a working-class man. It's a miracle. Oh yes, go on, wake them up, add more mouths to feed. That'll solve our starvation problems. I don't know what half-baked plans that simpleton in a lab coat has been leading you through, but it's done. It's over. Let me ask you something.
क्या वो मार दिया क्या उसको?
Have you at any point thought about not fucking up our entire society?
Are you kidding me? We're out here trying to clean up your mess.
I'm making actual progress towards stabilization and recovery. You're just getting in the way. Oh, right. This coming from the psychopathic outlaw. Yes, I'll try to be more open-minded about your path of wanton dissent. We don't need your help.
परसुएड भी नहीं कर सकते, लाइव भी नहीं कर सकते। बहुत बढ़िया।
We'll have to agree to disagree on that one, Captain. Now, if you don't mind, I have to finish prepping this script.
इसको पेल दूं?
Firearm safety manuals may be ordered from Spacer's Choice.
शायद पेलना नहीं है इसको।
I've got work to do.
भाई यहाँ पे अटैक हो रहा है, इसको कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा, एकदम मजे से। पिट एग्जिट, भाई एग्जिट क्यों करना, उसको बचाना नहीं है क्या?
Boss, I'm ready. Let's do this.
Captain, you have an uncanny talent for
वो
complicating
बैठा
my
हुआ, अबे ये
life.
क्या टॉर्चर चल रहा है क्या इसके
You've
साथ?
been working with Dr. Wells from the beginning. When we moved to arrest him, he was prepared. I lost good soldiers in the attempt. You've disrupted the balance of power. You've upset the natural order of things. You've introduced uncertainty, and there is nothing I despise more than uncertainty. Do you imagine you're leading some grand revolutionary army? Those barbarians from Monarch are running wild in my prison. I suppose I have you to thank for this indignity. You're nothing but a rabble-rouser. I'm going to put an end to your little rebellion, and then I'm going to have you and your associates arrested. The Board is the only legitimate power in Halcyon. We are Halcyon. I admit I miscalculated the extent of your influence. The Board's plan never accounted for you. This is a mistake I intend to correct. I have Dr. Wells in my custody. Once I've secured his cooperation, I can move forward with the program. I can repair the damage you've done. I can set things right. Fair enough. I'm giving you exactly one chance to parley with me.
Intimidate, heavy weapons, handed melee. I'm giving you a chance to walk away before I turn you into a bloody mess. I destroyed your experiments in the ministry. Your plans never going to work. On second thought, I'm not talking to you.
Yes, I'm quite aware of your brazen act of corporate vandalism. By the way, those test subjects you killed, they died in agony. My scientists assure me they can recover the data you've destroyed. You've succeeded in temporarily delaying our research. Nothing more. That isn't true. It can't be. You're trying to manipulate me. That experiment was absolutely essential to the program. My scientists assured me they were close to a breakthrough. They gave me their word. Damn you. You are telling the truth. My scientists have been lying to me, and I was stupid enough to trust them at their word. We're going to have to start all over again. All that research, all those experiments. You've set us back decades. You were always an unknown variable. I tried to recruit you, but you threw your lot in with that madman, Phineas Wells. This prison is equipped with an automechanical warden. I've had it programmed to eliminate you on sight and rinse your remains down a drain. And don't worry, I will inform Dr. Wells that you died heroically or something.
रैम ले ओ भाई इसको पेलना है।
I can do that. Take him down.
बस तो डैमेज भी नहीं हो रहा, शील्ड है इस पे। पीछे से आके मारूं। इसकी वीक पॉइंट क्या है? टांगों पे मारूं। वे जस्ट बचा। ले ओ भाई, एक तो मर गया। ड्रोन ड्रोन भाई, ड्रोन तो आए जा रहे हैं। ये मार के देखूं प्लाज्मा कैनन। अरे भाई, डैश मार दिया मुंह पे बिल्कुल। पेल दिया भाई, पेल दिया। स्पैम मारो भाई को लगता है। मर गया बस वो। बहुत सारे आ गए। मर गया। भाई ये क्या एकदम शाही बंगला सा बना रखा ऊपर।
Why won't you just die?
Time for action. Ready for more.
भाई ये तो ऐसी मर गई। चलो भाई, पहले स्किल्स बढ़ा लूं तब इसको निकालता हूँ। ये बढ़ा लेता हूँ और इंटिमिडेट बढ़ा लेता हूँ। पार्क में ये कर लेता हूँ। एली ओ भाई मेरा वेस्ट पूरा ही टूट गया। ये लगा लो। अबे खुला नहीं है।
You don't know how glad I am to see you. You did the right thing. Akande was a monster. Her death was much deserved, and long overdue. And you lunatic, you broke into the board's own fortress just to rescue one doddering old man. You are absolutely out of your mind, and I can't begin to thank you enough. I'm all right, thanks to you. Akande wanted my cooperation. I'm quite sure she would have beaten it out of me if you hadn't arrived. You've broken the board's stranglehold on
कितना
this
गोरा है
colony,
भाई ये।
and you saved my life. But there's still so much we have yet to accomplish. You and I are going to have to work harder than ever to save Halcyon. I'm afraid the situation is far worse than any of us ever anticipated. Earth has gone dark. We haven't received a single message in 3 years. There's been no communication, no signals, nothing.
अच्छा जी।
2 years ago, the Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared on their way back to Earth. We don't know what they discovered when they arrived, or if they arrived at all.
Hold on, Doc. Are you telling me the Earth went dark 3 years ago, and the board's just been covering this up?
They've been incredibly effective at concealing the truth. Right now, the only people in the colony who know are standing in this room.
They haven't exactly been hands-on around here anyway. So there's one less rubber stamp to worry about.
Earth is humanity's home planet, Miss Fenhill. The psychological effects of losing our original home will be devastating. We're in serious trouble, my friend. Do you know what this means for Halcyon? We can't rely on Earth for support anymore. We've been cut loose. We're entirely on our own. Yes. I don't know what happened, but something must have gone horribly wrong. I don't know why Earth's gone silent. I don't even know if Earth exists anymore. We have no connection back to Earth, and return is likely impossible. We're completely alone out here. I heard it from Akande herself. She tried to pressure me into joining her side, you see. Tried to make me realize that all hope is lost, and that we are alone. She was half right. We are alone, and we're going to have to fend for ourselves, because there's no telling what's happened to Earth. You might have heard of the Earth Directorate's frigate. Half the colony's entire military was on that ship. They were returning to Earth when they vanished without a trace. That was 2 years ago. We haven't heard a word from them since. Whatever happened to Earth likely happened to them. Yes, Akande mentioned as much. Earth hasn't sent us a single message in 3 years. No one knows why. Akande had kept the truth to herself, perhaps with good reason. Can you imagine what would have happened if word got out? We'd have utter pandemonium. I wasn't trying to hide the truth from you, but after all you've done, I owe you an explanation. Yes, I experimented on the Hope's colonists. Each of my experiments ended in catastrophic failure. Each of my subjects died in agony. You are my first and only success. I didn't tell you about the others because I didn't want to burden you. My failures are my own to bear, not yours. I'm not asking you to forgive me. Law knows I won't forgive myself, but I'm going to try to set things right. My apologies. I need to get a hold of myself. We've far more pressing issues to worry about right now. If you have any more questions, ask me. I'll answer as best I can. Yes, we do. You've done a marvelous thing. You've succeeded where anyone else would have failed, including me. We must begin the revival process immediately, starting with the Hope's brightest minds, and then we're going to fix this damn colony, one problem at a time. We're going to need a leader, and I can't imagine a better person for the job than you. What do you say, old friend? Will you help us?
Of course, somebody has to run this colony. I'm the only one. You can count on me. I'll help you revive the other colonists.
When I revived you, I thought you were going to help me save this colony. I was wrong. I had our roles reversed, you see. You're the one who's going to save us all. I'm just the one who set you on your path. You're the best thing to ever happen to Halcyon. If you want to take it upon yourself to lead this colony, you have my support. We're not a colony any longer, are we? Our last connection to Earth has been severed, and so we have been set free. Our future is uncertain, and no one knows what tomorrow holds. Exciting, isn't it?
अब क्या होगा? अब होप को रिवाइव करेंगे.
The OSI teaches that
अबे
everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment he landed in Emerald Vale, his actions altered the course of
ये तो हम ही है ना.
The events on Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come. The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists. Engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. Sanjar's civil liberties and worker-centric policies were slow to catch on with the other corporations. But as Halcyon began its long, arduous journey toward recovery, many of Terra 2's smaller townships started adopting MSI's alternative corporate structure, and eventually became entirely self-sufficient. In the coming years, many of these townships managed to eke by, where otherwise they might have starved. Consumed by paranoia, Lilia Hagen took Sublight Salvage in a controversial direction, openly accusing board officials of an extraterrestrial conspiracy. One day, an accident at the Groundbreaker's docking bay silenced her forever. Time would tell if her replacement could keep the Sublight family together. After returning to Edgewater, the deserters negotiated workplace reforms with Reed Thompson, including a single
ये मेरे को
day of
समरी दे रहा है
rest,
कि क्या हुआ
which came to
जो
be
मैंने
known as a weekend.
करा है.
As the world around him changed, Thompson found himself pining for the old days. He was known to spend his weekends in the cantina, nursing one of the few remaining bottles of Zero-G, and repeating to himself, "It's not the best choice, it's Spacer's choice." As for Adelaide McDevitt, she tended to her garden in solitude for another year before passing away. Her body was discovered some months later when Reed Thompson paid her a visit in an effort to make amends. Her remains were buried in a place of honor underneath the floor of the Edgewater Cannery. Reed believed this was what she always wanted. Under the leadership of Junlei Tennyson, the Groundbreaker held firm against corporate influence. The ship's mechanical stability gave Junlei the time to educate a promising generation of engineers schooled in her family's traditions. The future of the Groundbreaker looks promising. The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the lifetime employment program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, the board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. Nearly everyone had to learn to make do with less. Some even had to get jobs. It was a dark time indeed. Your influence shifted Ellie's perspective. She finally admitted, albeit grudgingly, that she just might need other people. Sometimes. With a steady income from the life insurance payouts, she was finally able to afford a ship of her own. She hired a small crew and flew supply missions to communities on the fringe. Some of them were even legal. Life in Halcyon was sobering for Felix Millstone. The grand revolution he dreamed of never came. There was no great awakening for the colony, no celebrations in the streets. There was only the hard, desperate work of trying to repair a broken colony. Felix never had a head for numbers, but if there was labor to be done, he was there to help. Eventually, Felix realized that the work of a revolution was done with two hands. As much as he enjoyed his adventures aboard the Unreliable, the vicar, known as Max, eventually decided that it was time to move on, to live out the life he had sought so long to create. He knew there were many in the colony who carried burdens much worse than the ones he had struggled with, and he devoted himself to easing their suffering wherever he could. He only ever took up arms again to defend the defenseless. Unshackled from a lifetime of striving and fighting the universe and himself, Vicar Maximilian de Soto was finally at peace. Once the matter with the Hope colonists was resolved, Junlei bashfully asked Parvati if she'd like to join her permanently on the Groundbreaker, and Parvati enthusiastically, if somewhat awkwardly, agreed. The stories of her adventures spread across the colony, and Parvati soon found herself the center of attention. Having served as the engineer of a renowned spacecraft, tramp freighters and wildcat miners sought her out by name, and in no time, she was a fixture in the Groundbreaker's mechanical ecosystem. She and Junlei were never far apart. Nyoka returned to Monarch to take another crack at making a permanent life for herself. She formed the Charon Group, an MSI subsidiary of ragtag survivalists and wilderness experts. Anyone in need of a guide, or just looking to throw back a beer and swap stories, could find her camping on the trail or clearing an infestation. The SAM unit that accompanied you spread awareness of the product line's superior sanitation and maintenance capabilities across what was left of the colony. This led to a boost in SAM unit sales. Did you know that SAM units are the longest-lasting, toughest-acting cleaning solution in Halcyon? Minister Clark was released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose and vigor. Once it became clear that no help would be coming from Earth, he threw his considerable efforts and talents into helping Halcyon manage the crisis before it. As for Dr. Phineas Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab. He eventually came to terms with his own past and was able to forgive the mistakes of his younger self by devoting his remaining years to serving the colony. Dr. Wells was able to revive many more scientists and engineers than he first expected, thanks to the additional batch of chemicals you stole from the Ministry. Wells never forgot about the human lives that were lost in acquiring these chemicals. In the end, Dr. Wells was able to save every scientist and engineer aboard the Hope. Over the next decade, nearly all of the Hope's remaining colonists were successfully revived. Halcyon saw a period of rapid technological and scientific advancement. Breakthroughs in dietary supplements saved the colony from starvation. Geoengineering projects and social reforms began to change the structure and character of the colony. Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project to save the colony, but he would never live to see the fruits of his labor. He passed away a few years later. His work was carried on by the scientists and engineers he revived. Today, Halcyon has stabilized. The people of the colony work hard to adapt to their new circumstances. Nearby colonies send aid and supplies. Life will never be easy in Halcyon, but for the first time in its history, there exists a sense of real, genuine hope about the future. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? Long after Wells passed away, you carried on his work with more energy, determination, and brilliance than he could ever muster. The years that followed were hard, but Halcyon survived by the efforts of the Hope's most promising colonists, the greatest of which was you. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.
खत्म. गुड एंडिंग थी शायद. अबे हो गया. फिर से वहीं पे आ गया ये.